Hello, you're kicking off the Tuesday's edition of Qpvn English News Bulletin. You're with me, Ling Chi, and here come the headlines. Promoting digital transformation in Army staffing work. Vietnam, Cambodia sharing borders, strengthening trust. Vietnamese ELOQUENCE contest address Japanese students. On the occasion of the 20th anniversary of Warehouse Gate 28 of the Logistic Technical Department under Military Reason 2, November 4, 2005-2025, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, sent a commendation letter to the unit. In the letter, he praised the unit for its unity and efforts over the past 20 years in successfully receiving, monitoring, preserving, maintaining, repairing, storing, and supplying various weapons, ammunition, vehicles, and technical equipment for training and combat readiness, ensuring absolute safety. The unit has also achieved outstanding results in technical innovation and movements and building a strong and all-round unit. The minister expressed his hope that the unit will continue to uphold its achievements and excel in all sectors. On November 3rd, Senior Lieutenant General Lê Huy Vịnh, Deputy Minister of National Defense, chaired a conference to report on the project to invest in the construction of research laboratories for defense industry development. Also attending was Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Hiền, Deputy Minister of National Defense. According to rappers, the laboratory investment projects feature modern-scale construction equipped with some of the world's most advanced technologies. These facilities will serve research activities, personnel training, production, and trial manufacture of technical equipment and materials to meet mission requirements of the armed forces. Senior Lieutenant General Lê Huy Vịnh emphasized that the projects are urgent and strategically important. He requested the Military Technical Academy and the Air Defense Effort Service to clearly define objectives and ensure tight, effective, and long-term implementation. The successful completion of these projects will contribute to researching and producing modern weapons and equipment, thereby enhancing Vietnam's defense industry capacity and building a revolutionary, regular, highly skilled, and modern military. On the afternoon of November 3rd, Senior Lieutenant General Phùng Sĩ Tấn, Double Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, chaired a conference reviewing the draft report on the digital ecosystem project for the Army Staff Sector. He emphasized that accelerating digital transformation is an urgent task to realize Resolution number 57 of the Politburo on breakthroughs in science, technology, innovation, and national digital transformation, thereby enhancing command, management, and operational efficiency in the Army. The project focuses on developing a synchronized digital infrastructure, platforms, applications, database, cybersecurity, and human resources. The delegates discussed and proposed solutions to address challenges so that the project can be approved and implemented effectively, contributing to building a revolutionary, regular, highly skilled, and modern army. Along the southwestern border, where ceremony markers linked the two nations, the solidarity between Vietnam and Cambodia has been nurtured through generations. From state-level relations to cooperation among various forces, this bond has grown ever stronger, reflecting trust, shared responsibility, and a common aspiration for peace, stability, and development. Built on close neighborhood ties and a shared history, the relationship between Vietnam and Cambodia has been steadily strengthened and expanded in all areas. From high-level visits to concrete cooperation programs, it has become a symbol of solidarity, friendship, and sustainable partnership between the two nations. In bilateral relations, defense cooperation has always been regarded as the key pillar, reflecting the strategic trust and trust bond between Vietnam and Cambodia. The signing of the Defense Cooperation Protocol for the 2025-2029 period marks a new phase of practical and effective collaboration, contributing to peace, stability, and sustainable development for both countries. In recent years, defense cooperation between the two countries has developed in a practical and effective way. Key areas include delegation exchanges, especially at the high level, defense policy dialogues, border management and protection, personal training, and promoting the history and significance of Vietnam-Cambodia solidarity. Both sides have also cooperated closely in repatriating martyrs' remains and supporting each other at regional and multilateral forums. Friendship village pairings, cross-border markets, and cultural, healthcare, and education exchange programs have helped bring the peoples of the two countries closer together. Building on this bond, cooperation and exchange activities between the two nations' defense forces have been increasingly expanded and deepened. A significant milestone was the first Vietnam-Cambodia Border Defense Friendship Exchange held in 2022. I'm very proud and honored. I hope today's friendship exchange will further strengthen the bonds between our two countries and contribute to mutual prosperity and development. From strategic vision to concrete actions along the border, the Vietnam-Cambodia relationship has grown even stronger. Today, the border is not only a natural boundary, but also a bridge of cooperation, friendship, and enduring trust between the two nations. Điện Biên, a northwestern border province with more than 400 kilometers of borderline, faces demanding tasks in border management and national defense security. Since the provincial border guard command was reported to the Điện Biên Provincial Military Command, coordination between forces has become closer and more effective, helping build a firm border defense posture and drive development in the border areas. At year's end, on key stretches of the border guards and military units are constantly on the move, patrolling through forests and over mountain passes to protect the borderline and markers while promptly cracking down on criminal activities. After the local government was streamlined into two levels, Mường Mươn Border Guard Station now manages more than 12 kilometers of borderline and regularly conducts joint patrol with the Defensive Area 2 Command, always ensuring absolute safety. In border localities, troops not only stand guard day and night, but also go into schools and resident clusters to explain the law, helping students and local people stay alert to potential risks. At the same time, border guard and military forces in Điện Biên strictly maintain combat readiness, ready to maneuver whenever tasks arise. The new model ensures that military and defense activities run smoothly while promoting the border guard command's role in safeguarding national border sovereignty and performing other assault tasks. After the border guard commands were reported to the provincial military commands in Military Region 2, command and coordination have become faster and more unified. Each task has been implemented effectively. Every border marker and stretch of borderline is fully protected. Placed in the provincial border guard commands and stations under the provincial military commands in terms of military administration has created favorable conditions for border management and mass mobilization, especially in remote ethnic minority areas. Under one roof and one unified command, the bonds between the border guard and military forces grow stronger. Together, they are keeping the border peaceful and bringing new dynamism and prosperity to the heroic land of Điện Biên. Continuous heavy rain combined with water released from reservoirs has caused severe flooding across downstream areas of Hà Tĩnh province. In deeply submerged communes such as Cẩm Duệ and Cẩm Bình, floodwaters have begun to recede but remain high. On November 3rd, local authorities and military units continue supporting residents in flood-hit zones. Though accustomed to annual flooding, this time the water rose faster and higher, catching many Hà Tĩnh residents off guard. Floodwaters rose quickly, forcing families to move the elderly and children to upper floors and those struggled to navigate the strong current. As of the morning of November 3rd, more than 5,000 households across Hà Tĩnh remained inundated, mostly in downstream communes of Kẻ Gỗ Reservoir, such as Cẩm Duệ, Cẩm Bình, and Hà Duy Tập Ward. The provincial military command, border guards, and public security units have been stationed in key areas to deliver food and essential supplies to flood-affected residents, while assisting volunteer groups in transporting relief goods to isolated households. Although floodwaters in Ha Tĩnh were receding, the situation remained serious. We have directed its subordinate units to stay ready to deploy forces and vehicles to reach flooded areas, coordinate with local authorities and assist people to ensure maximum safety. With weather forecasts warning of further complicated developments, the Military Region 4 Command continues to prepare personnel and resources to support local authorities and residents wherever needed. Coming up next, nearly 2,000 participants joined Run for Vietnam. Vietnamese eloquence contest addressed Japanese students. On the morning of November 3rd, the 17th International Conference on the East Sea, internationally known as the South China Sea, opened in Da Nang under the theme Unity in Uncertainties. The event brought together scholars, experts, policymakers, diplomats, media representatives, and young leaders from the region and around the world. The conference serves as a forum for open and substantive dialogue, where participants share assessments and propose feasible solutions to challenges in the East Sea and the broader region. Under the themes Uncertain Environment and Aspiration for Solidarity, delegates will engage in 6 discussion sessions, focusing on key topics such as developments in the East Sea, major power strategies, shared responsibility for peace, ASEAN's leadership role, noted to unclose at the foundation for maritime order and the power of the young generation. Many messages from the conference called for overcoming competition and confrontation, upholding international law, ensuring freedom of navigation, resolving disputes peacefully, protecting the marine environment, and promoting sustainable regional development. Recently, nearly 2,000 Hanoi residents joined Reup Vietnam in creating a meaningful running event titled Run for Vietnam. It was the first community sports event combining physical activity with the promotion of Vietnam's culinary heritage, the traditional pho. The run was not only a journey for health, but also a celebration of cultural values. Thousands of runners of all ages, from children running alongside their families to the elderly, shared an atmosphere of excitement and enthusiasm. With distances of 3 kilometers and 5 kilometers, the Run for Pho event was not merely a physical challenge, but also a festival of sportsmanship and community spirit. A special highlight came at the finish line, where all participants enjoyed steaming bowls of pho in the culinary zone. Thousands of servings were offered, creating a warm and inviting cultural space. The program is expected to become an annual event, contributing to the movement for healthy living while continuing the journey to honor pho, a proud symbol of Vietnamese cuisine. Recently, at Ganda University of Languages, Chiba Prefecture, Japan, the 19th Vietnamese eloquence contest for students studying Vietnamese from universities, colleges, and high schools across Japan was held. Every year, the school organizes the Vietnamese eloquence contest to help students broaden their knowledge and improve their Vietnamese skills in daily life. Many young Vietnamese people who left Japan have learned Japanese language and studied in Japan. On the other hand, the number of young Japanese people who are interested in Vietnam, love Vietnam, and study Vietnamese language also sees an increase. I started learning Vietnamese a year and a half ago. I want to become a Japanese teacher for foreigners in Vietnam. This year's Vietnamese eloquence contest saw the participation of 18 contestants from universities, colleges, and high schools that offer Vietnamese courses, such as Ganda University of Languages, Osaka University, or Kanto Kokuksai High School. Other contestants have shown their Vietnamese language ability in such contents as reading poetry, telling stories about their experiences in learning Vietnamese, or their impressions of the country, people, and culture of Vietnam. Currently, the Vietnamese language is favored by many Japanese youngsters. Previously, students studying Vietnamese set the goal of finding a job in Vietnam after graduation. Yet, recently, there are also many opportunities to find good jobs related to Vietnamese in Japan. At the end of the competition, the contestants are awarded prizes to recognize their efforts, thereby further motivating them to strive in studying the Vietnamese language. It is the end of the listening news bulletin today. You can watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Goodbye and see you next time.